All right. What's up, everybody? I did the dumbest thing, and I've been sitting here talking for 30 minutes. Anyway, I'm Dave with Fragrance Bros. Welcome to a live review, this time on the line of Argos right here. Let's get to it. How's everybody doing? I'm David with Fragrance Bros. Of course, your best source for everything fragrance related. I've been sitting here for 30 minutes doing a whole review, not seeing any comments. I'm like, what is going on with everybody? I didn't hit the live, so we're going to do it all over again. Of course, today I have my favorite mug. I don't have coffee in it this time. It's actually lemon tea. I hate tea, but I need it because whatever reason, we had a cold snap, and then on top of that, we have a whole bunch of pollen in the air, so it is wreaking havoc on my sinuses. So having something hot in this mug will be very pleasant here. Thank you, everybody, for your patience and for waiting. If everyone is watching this after the fact, this is a live review. I'm going to be doing a review of 3 fragrances from the line of Argos, which I absolutely love. Now, if you're joining the live and you have any questions, you can @ me at Fragrance Bros, and I'll get to those at the very end. If you want to send a super chat, you can send a super chat, and I'll interrupt what I'm doing, and I'll answer your super chat. Lots of people here. Thank you, everyone, for coming. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get started again for me. Now, the line of Argos is an incredible line. I really like this line. I first saw them on social media and I knew that I had to have them. Their bottles look incredible. As you can see, they're very highly ornate, and I'll show you some B-roll of that in a minute. But when I saw them, I was like, I knew I had to get it just because of the bottle. They got me. They got me with the bottle and the box. So whenever I tried them, they actually sent 3 of these for review, so just keep that in mind. They didn't pay me to say anything, so I'm not going to do that. And I don't have any links that give me anything. But if you want to go check them out, I have a link down below. Not an affiliate link, but a link down below. You can go and try them. They sell samples on their website. Highly recommend that you sample these because they're incredible. Now, they sent these to me for review. When I tried them, hooked. They are incredible. Incredible. This is a line that I'm so thrilled about, so excited about, because they're amazing. The concept is really cool. The execution and presentation, top notch. So amazing. The scents themselves are just incredible. All 3 of these are fantastic. There's actually 2 more in the line, the Pour Femme and the Pour Homme. I'm going to do those in the summer. And they have 2 more on the way, I believe, in this mythical line, which they've already teased on their social media, which I believe are based on Athena, which is one's going to be based on Athena, and I think another one is based on Hercules, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very much looking forward to that. I love mythology. I love Greek myth. So this is right in my wheelhouse already. Of course, these bottles are just incredible, super heavy. Everything is really well made. And of course, the presentation is not the most important thing with a fragrance. The fragrance is. But the presentation still says something. And we all are those people that really collect fragrances. And having something that looks this gorgeous, I think, is really important and is special to us at least. But I'm happy to say that the fragrances themselves are just as good. Now, first we're going to go with Triumph of Bacchus. Now, Triumph of Bacchus, I'll show some B-roll here, is gorgeous. This is the one that I have the most time with. Triumph of Bacchus is, as you can see, just look at the bottle. My gosh. Bottle is just incredible. Now, that is, I forgot what they call that, but that eye is a Greek symbol there that they put on a lot of ships and things like that. Really neat. Some of you probably already know what that is. On the front of the box here, you can see kind of their artwork and their depiction of Bacchus. And I believe this is original artwork, if I'm not mistaken, but it's based on classical art design. So this is really, really cool. I just absolutely just fell in love with, with this bottle and this design. I think it's really great. We'll go into some of the notes here real quick. Some of the notes here are saffron, white peach, green apple. It says rum notes or room. I don't know why they add an H there. Patchouli, jasmine, tonka bean, vetiver, tobacco, amber, sandalwood, vanilla, and musk. Of course, this is represented by the Roman god Bacchus. Bacchus was considered a god of winemaking, fertility, ritual madness, theater, and religious ecstasy. He was one of the 12 Olympians, although he was the last Olympian to arrive, often called Eleutherius, meaning the liberator, because his wine, music, and ecstatic dance freed mortals from self-consciousness and restraints of society. You gotta love Greek myth, man. Really cool. Now, as you can tell, this is, to me, I think, a fruity, sweet type of tobacco scent. I really like this a lot. To me, this reminds me kind of scents that are in the style of maybe Back to Black from Bacchus, or maybe Pure Havane from Mugler. And this, to me, dethroned Pure Havane for me. I love Pure Havane. And then when I smelled this, I was like, this does everything that Pure Havane does, plus more, and I think plus better. So I really kept this one instead. And this one made it to my permanent collection. Not every fragrance that I get makes it to my permanent collection. Most of them just go on the shelf of doom. And so they just disappear. But this one made it. And I'm really glad that it did. It is a beautiful tobacco scent. At the start, you get a lot of fruity notes. I believe they said it was peach and green apple at the start. And I almost get other things, maybe slight cherry type of thing, but it's gorgeous. As it dries, you get that tobacco type of feeling. And then as it dries even further, you get a really nutty style vanilla, tonka and vanilla. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I wore this a lot, especially in December, so it reminds me a lot of that season. And great for special occasions, great for the cold, I think. Great for formal situations. I think this whole line, at least these three, are great for formal situations. As far as longevity and projection goes on all of these, I'll go ahead and say on pretty much all three of these, they're really potent and really powerful on me. I would say in the excellent range, 10 to 12 hours of longevity, and average to excellent projection on me, depending on where you and how you spray. But I love it. And I'll also say, too, that they make a great box. And of course, I'm a box snob, so that's really cool. The box opens up, has some notes and description of what it is, and it sits right in there. Great for traveling and stuff like that if you really care. And there's a magnet on there, which always gets, it always gets fragrance people horny. So yeah, beautiful presentation by them. Beautiful, gorgeous tobacco, fruity type of scent. Love it a lot. So yeah, Triumph of Bacchus for the second time. All right, so next we're going to go with this one right here, and this is Bacio Immortale. Really love Bacio Immortale, and this one is similar to a fragrance you might have tried by Tom Ford, in the style of maybe Tuscan leather. Show you some B-roll of this real quick. Again, this one is different, inspired by different gods. On the front there is Psyche and Eros, and beautiful, beautiful etching on the front there. Very similar style bottle, of course. Now, these two, the first one that I mentioned, Triumph of Bacchus and Bacio Immortale that I have here, these are 100 ml bottles. Heavy cap there, too, by the way. I like the caps a lot. Beautiful little engraving on the front there. I forgot if they call that debossing or embossing. Not really sure. But look at the box. The artwork on the box, just incredible. Amazing. Love that a lot. I almost want to show off the box as much as I do the bottle. I mean, they're that good. Really love that. So yeah, there's the presentation. Really like that a lot. Bacio Immortale, in the style of maybe Tuscan leather, if you've tried that before, similar type of fragrances. There's a dozen different style fragrances that are similar in that range. I can think of several. I could go on and on, but very, very cool. So let me go over the notes real quick. Let me go over some of that real fast here. So Bacio Immortale has notes of bergamot, lemon, pepper, raspberry, violet, jasmine, leather, pink peppercorn, musk, leather, oud, birch, and vanilla. And this is represented by the Roman god Cupid, or Greek god Eros, and the Greek goddess Psyche. The name Cupid is a variation of Cupido, which means desire. Cupid also went by the name Amor, which means love. The name Psyche means the soul and derives from the Greek word psycho. Does it really? Which means to breathe. Ancient Greeks believed that breath was the soul. So really neat. And I like this one a lot. I haven't had as much time with this one as I've had the other two. I recently sold, I say recently, probably within the last couple of years, I had Tuscan leather and I sold it. And I like it, but I didn't love it. This is in that kind of style, but I think just, again, does it better. Now, these three fragrances, they don't necessarily do anything that I think is groundbreaking in a new way, but what I really like about them is that their quality is very refined, and they're refined in a way that I think kind of does those style of fragrances even better than their progeny does. So I really appreciate this a lot. Very smoky at the start, leathery. I get raspberry, of course. You get the jasmine. You get kind of that birchy, leather, oudy type of thing. I don't think it's quite as smoky as Tuscan leather. I think Tuscan leather has more frankincense and even more smoke. This, to me, I think has a little bit more feminine appeal for you ladies out there. I think this works a little bit better, probably because of that fruity note in there. But I think this is just, oh man, that'd be gorgeous on a woman. Men would like this too, of course. I think especially if you like ombre leather or Tuscan leather, things like that. But yeah, excellent fragrance. Really love that a lot too. All right, got to get all my boxes ready here. All right, next we will go with Bravito Delicaca. Let me show the bottle of that real fast. Now, this one is the 30 ml bottle. They have two different sizes. The first two that I had were the 100 ml bottles, and this is the 30 ml bottle. Now, as you can see, it looks almost identical in the way that it's presented as the 100 ml bottles. Everything is almost the same. Very heavy cap, similar artwork and design. Still really heavy, but just 30 mils. I think if you're on the fence about one of the fragrances, I think that the 30 ml is great. Look at that artwork. My gosh. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. My kids laughed at the naked people on here. I had to kind of tell them that this is about artwork and it's not about anything else here. But this one is, oh man, wonderful. Now, the owner of the brand Argos, Christian Petrovich, said that this is one of his daily drivers that he wears the most. And I can see why. This is, to me, very masculine and very powerful. It is excellent. It's an excellent vetiver scent that is that has some citrus notes and smoky notes. Let's get to some of the notes here. So some of the notes here are pink pepper, clary sage, juniper berries, mate absolute or mate absolute, oil of fluve, iris concrete, tonka bean absolute, supple leather, oil of birch, amber accord. And this is represented by the Greek god Artemis. Artemis was known as the goddess of the wilderness, wild animals, childbirth, chastity, and the hunt. On one occasion, the short-tempered goddess becomes infuriated that a mere mortal has stumbled upon her while she bathed in the woods. She hastily turns the hunter into a stag, and he is quickly chased down and ripped apart by his very own hounds. And that is that is so Greek. That is Greek myth right there. Love that story. What a cool story. Glad I wasn't the hunter. But yeah, this 30 ml bottle is excellent. I think if you're on the fence about any of these bottles, if you didn't want maybe a full bottle, 30 ml bottles are amazing. I like these a lot. And they're just as high quality as the 100 ml bottles, but just less. Now, they don't have a 50 ml bottle, which that kind of bums me out. I usually, if I'm getting a smaller bottle, will go with maybe a 50 ml instead of a 30. But still, really great. As for the scent itself, this is a really masculine vetiver with leather and some smoke on there. Beautiful leathery. I get like lemon at the top with vetiver, smoky leather. To me, this kind of reminds me of like a really well broken in leather jacket. Has that kind of smokier leather type of thing. A little bit sharp and a little bit pungent. It's earthy. It's great. I think this is the most masculine out of the three here. So if you're looking for something that is very masculine but different, I think this is it. And this, I think, can be worn more in the spring, summer, night formal type of thing. It's not necessarily a spring, summer type of fragrance, but I think it can have a little bit more application there. You can wear that more. The other two, I think, work better maybe in the colder months or colder weather. All three of these, I think, are perfect in that kind of formal application. If you want to kind of impress someone or show off a fragrance, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think that's really where these shine. And again, if you want to try any of these, definitely go and check out the link below to Buy Argos website. It's not an affiliate link. You can just go and check them out. They have samples of their whole line. This is a 5 out of 5 line for me. I'm super excited about this line. Every one of their fragrances are winners. They're all winners. There's no duds in this line. So that's an amazing accomplishment right there. And again, there's two more in the line, Pour Femme and Pour Homme. I'm going to go more over that in the summer when they're updating the bottles from their old design to their new design. So I'm going to go over those later on, and then maybe hopefully go over the other fragrance releases whenever they come out too. So stay tuned for that. I am just overwhelmed with how great this line is. It is so good, so powerful, so charismatic, and very wearable at the same time being artistic. It is that perfect middle ground right there that is exactly what I'm looking for. So definitely check out Argos. I do not think that you will be disappointed at all. I think that you'll be just as impressed as I am. So definitely check them out. With that said, let's go ahead and get to some questions and comments here. Rich Mitch, how are you doing, man? Always glad to have you again. He says, Fragrance Bros, time to musk up. Thank you for coming back. Fragrance Bros. Time to musk up said, did he forget to hit live like Cuddles? I did. Oh, man. I've only done this a few times, so I'm still getting used to it. It's so funny. I had everything ready, and I did the whole review. And I was like, why is no one commenting? Why is no one here? That's why. Here's your sign. Jacob Labe says, peace, DFW Shade, Rich Mitch. Just Ascension McLaren P1. Interesting. Says, do you like chicken? Yeah, who doesn't like chicken? Chicken is the bomb. Mignon Williams says, hi. Brenda. How are you doing, Brenda? Thank you for coming back. Ultimate Prime says, lol, Daver. Oh, man. This is what brings joy to the day, isn't it? Adrian Rivera says, hi. Hello. Rich Mitch says, Rudy called it. He did. It's not obvious enough. That's the problem. I don't know if you've done any live videos on YouTube. You get everything ready, and so I'm doing everything through streaming software, so I can go and show you all the B-roll footage. I have to start streaming on the software, and then I have to go in through the back door of YouTube, go to the link that I sent, and then make sure that the stream catches up on YouTube because there's a delay. So you go there and I see it stream. I'm like, okay, it must be live. Well, I forget there's a live button, a tiny live button, top right corner that you have to push before you go live. So, never again though, right? Robert Alexandru Rujan says, greetings from Romania. Greetings. Thank you for joining us. Rich Mitch says, lemon and honey for a cold. Excellent. Ugh. G. Pavlatos says, my ex was from Argos. Okay. He says, crappy town. All right, Time to Musk Up says, sorry, just got back. You joking, Rich? He was right. Yeah, you were right, Musk. Time to Musk Up says, does it smell like red tobacco? Juice color is nice. You know, I have not tried red tobacco, so I'm not really sure. Red tobacco is by Montal, is that correct? Or is that the one by Mancera? I don't really know. I always get confused by those two. Not really sure. I'm guessing if you're talking about Triumph of Bacchus. I don't really know. Ultimate Prime says, at Fragrance Bros, is your Triumph of Bacchus juice a 30 mil? How's the longevity on skin for you? No, this is 100 mil. So just so you can see it here, this is the 100 mil bottle, and to show you the two compared here, there's a 100 mil, here's a 30 mil. So there's definitely a size difference, as you can see. This one is what is that one again? Bravito Delicaca and Triumph of Bacchus. I like both bottles. I usually do not like the 30 mil size in general because I don't think it's enough. I say that and I have, you know, way too much juice. But yeah, longevity on me is excellent. I get about 10 to 12 hours easily on all three of these. But again, I have really good skin, so I get better than average performance on most things. So that's just me, though. John Gregorio says, which is the most common use for the warmer weather? I would say for warmer weather, Bravito Delicaca is the better one, just because it has that lemon vetiver type of thing that's green. There's some darker notes like the smoky, birchy leather type of thing in there, the earthiness in here that kind of weighs it down, makes it a little bit more formal. But I think this is great for especially spring. I think you could wear this spring easily. Summer, probably maybe just at night or for formal occasions, not for like casual stuff. At least, you know, how we define it being used. But I would not wear it for super hot days. But for special occasions and things like that, cool nights, I would. Rich Mitch, you're right, Rudy. Yep. Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Robert Quinlan, the four-leaf clover and the whiskey. I don't know if that's an Irish reference or what. Time to Musk Up says, it's a shame that 1/3 size of the 100 ml bottle costs about 50%, only 50% less. Yeah, so that is common, though, with smaller sized bottles. You don't get the savings of the juice. I think that's mostly because I don't exactly know why. I think it's probably just a logistical reason. I think that a lot of times I've talked to people who that are in the fragrance world, and producing smaller bottles sometimes is more expensive than the larger bottles. It might just be because you order a smaller amount of the smaller bottles because more people want the larger size. It could be other reasons too. I'm not exactly sure. But Argos International in the house. How are you doing? But usually that is very common with the smaller size not being scaled with the price according to its size. I'm not, again, I don't really care. Some people do. Reza1 says, pretty boy version of red tobacco. Hey, there you go. Adrian Rivera says, I saw that brand Argos like 3 years ago. Nice to see a review from you. Thank you. So I've only gotten to see them recently. I'm sure they've been around for a while. But recently, I guess, they have just launched just these beautiful bottles. I think that's really what got a lot of their attention was the bottles themselves, because they look absolutely gorgeous. They photograph like a dream. If you can see my photos of them on Instagram, the photos of them are really great. But I mean, maybe part of it comes down to skill of the photographer, of course, but I think mostly just because these are just so photogenic. It's just ridiculous how photogenic these bottles are. So yeah, beautiful. So yeah, I'm sure that they've been around for a while, but I think that this mythical line I think is newer. Argos International says, "Doing great, Dave. Thank you for sharing." Yeah, thanks for coming on. Really glad to have you. Thank you so much for coming on. Tiny Muskup says, Mancera, Daver. Red Tobacco's Mancera. Cool. He says it's confusing sometimes. It is. It was more confusing because there was like this whole thing, I remember years ago, of people talking about the connection between Mancera and Montal. I think it's the same perfumer, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Or maybe there was some other kind of beef or drama as well. I don't really keep up with it. But what gets me confused about the two lines a lot of times is that they'll release a fragrance that is almost exactly the same in both lines, name different things, and I'm like, Gah. I don't understand how they do that. It's just wild. Maybe they don't do it all the time, but it'd be suffocating me in my sleep if I saw I bought this for $200. I would say though, it is worth it. It is worth it. They smell really rich. They smell luxurious. Oop. Okay. Hopefully I'm back. Something happened, then I lost a connection there. OBS lost connection. Not really sure why, but it looks like I'm back. Anyway, what I was saying was, I think these are really worth it. The price is high. It's not exorbitant though, especially compared to really high-end niche bottles. The $200 range I think is very reasonable for what you're getting here. They smell really rich. They smell like a really expensive fragrance, which that to me is the most important thing money-wise. Whenever you're spending that much money on a fragrance, to me, I've got to get value out of the smell. It's got to smell rich. I don't want to spend $250, $300 on a fragrance, and it smells like something I can get for $60. You know, that to me would be like the biggest letdown. But yeah, they're gorgeous. They just look gorgeous on the shelf. So yeah, I think they're definitely worth it. Tell her that she can just sleep with it under her pillow. Argos International says the smaller size bottles and caps are definitely more expensive than the 100 ml. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard a few different people talk about how it's more expensive to produce the smaller bottles. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe Maybe you can elaborate on that. I'm not sure if it has to do with tooling or with amounts ordered or what. But I've heard that several times. So yeah, thank you for confirming that. Feelings from a Blurry Note. Welcome. I need to get my glove. And there we go. How's this? Thank you for joining us. Feelings from a Blurry Note says, greetings from Slovenia, sir. Fan here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I did not know that was where you're from. Very cool. Time to Musk Up says, I agree, Daver. Smaller size bottles probably cost the same, if not just as much as larger bottles, so I completely understand. Al Bundy in the house says, how are you doing, Master Darth Daver? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Other than I have kind of sinus things going, I'm pretty good. Hopefully it'll get a lot better. The throat was the worst. That was keeping me up all night, last night, the night before. Goodness, I haven't gotten as much sleep the last couple nights. And then my kids have it too. So on top of my normal burden, now I have to deal with my kids having it too, and they'll wake up in the middle of the night and it is just a thing. Oh man. So I'm ready. I'm ready for spring to finally get all the pollen out of the way. I don't even know if I'm allergic to pollen, but the changing of the seasons just really does it to me. I've tried getting antihistamines and they don't really seem to do much or anything. Man. I keep coming back to this fragrance line. It's just a gorgeous line. So really just so pleased with this. All right, let's see here. Centaur Fragrances, Centaur Fragrance, welcome, says, is there a dark, boozy Argos fragrance? I don't think there's necessarily a dark, boozy fragrance. To me, the booziest one is Triumph of Bacchus. There is a type of boozy quality in here. I believe that it says there's rum in the notes. Something like that is here. I would like to, maybe in the future, I know they have a few more coming out. I believe there's two, of course they have two, the Parfum and the Pour Homme that are out. Those are different. There's two more coming out. I believe one is based on Athena, if I'm correct from their social media. And I think another one's based on Hercules, if I'm correct. So I don't know what those are going to be like at all. I have zero idea. But I know there's more in the works, so I'm really excited to see what those are like. I don't know if those are going to be boozy or not, but I guess we'll see. Tom Barson says, hey, Daver, how are you today? Nice bottles from Argos there. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for coming on. Eric Ensman says, what's up, Daver? Would love to see a Xerjoff house review from you at some point. Yes, I would love to do that. The one thing that is difficult with Xerjoff, I always try, if I can, to try to get either samples or bottles or things from houses. And Xerjoff is... I've contacted them before, and I've talked to the right person, but they don't, at the time, years ago, they didn't send anything to the U.S. at the time. So I'm going to see if I can get something with a distributor here, which I believe I can. I would like to do that, too, because I love Xerjoff. I think they have some in the line that are just insane, just gorgeous. Like Uden, especially. Uden is absolutely incredible. Neo is also amazing. The Renaissance collection is amazing. I really like Xerjoff a lot. So I would love to do that too. Getting samples and doing that whole thing is just one of the little fiddly things that comes with being a reviewer that always annoys me. So some days you have like the actual work, that you have the video production, you have editing, you have making the video, writing it, smelling it, that kind of thing, writing the review. That's all the work that is meaningful whenever you're doing it. You feel accomplished at the end of the day after you do that. Then you have what I call fiddly work. And fiddly work takes so much time in the day to finish, and that is talking to, emailing, talking to houses, trying to secure samples or things like that. It is constantly bothering me. I just hate it. And, doing details with videos and comments and things like that, fiddly work. So, all that to say, I hope to do something about Xerjoff in the future. This is why you join lives. You join lives for the rants and the rabbit trails. All right, Reza1 says, Mancera and Montal are like an old dang library. It takes you 10 years to know all the releases from them, so no blame on you. Yeah, it does, I know. That's one reason why I haven't really gotten into them either. There's so many, it's almost impenetrable. And I find I really don't like it when a house has a shotgun approach to their fragrances and they just have, they shoot out as many as they can and they just see what sticks. I don't like that. I like it when houses like Argos releases a small batch. They just make sure to put quality and time one at a time into their fragrances and release them slowly. Whenever they have a smaller size collection, it's easier to get acquainted with the line and see what their point of view is. Montal and Mancera, they have so many. I don't know what is a dud and what is actually really good. And with those lines, I don't want to have to spend days and days and days and days weeding through all the line. So I've almost kind of purposely stayed away from those two lines, unless someone just recommends something to me and sends it to me and I absolutely like it or something like that. Ian Wren says, they definitely do sound amazing. Yeah, they are amazing. Brenda Line says, those bottles are gorgeous. Saw your photos, Daver. Fire, fire, fire. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Like I said before, I mean, I know I appreciate the comment. and the compliment too. I really appreciate that. Part of it, I guess, is the skill of the photographer. So I really appreciate that. But also too, these are just super. Um, these are super photogenic. Like, look at this. That's Bacio Immortale, and just amazing, just amazing, incredible, just absolutely stunning bottles. And whenever you show them, they just look epic. I love this. That they did the perfect job of reflecting their theme in the actual fragrance. You get something that looks like an ancient Greek god, but in a bottle form. I mean, this looks like something that you would find in ancient Greece, even though I know that you wouldn't. But it just looks like that. I love it. Absolutely love it. Lord Truth says, I purchased the Brickle lotion. I absolutely love it. I'm not sure what that is. Do they sell a lotion on Argos? Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else? Al Bundy says, smell frankincense to clear your sinus. I might try that. I hope that you're not talking about an essential oil, because I think that's BS. But I actually do have a frankincense tier that I got from a project that Mandy Aftel is working on for one of her books. And it had ambergris. It had an ambergris tincture, and then I think it was mint and jasmine, and then a frankincense tier. And frankincense is gorgeous. I love like real frankincense. Whew, it's gorgeous. I might do that. Just put it in my nose. Lord Truth says, I also purchased the Ursa Major deodorant. I love that as well. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so that reminds me, if you haven't watched my other channel, definitely go check it out. I have a second channel called Beast Made Reviews that is absolutely rocking right now. And it is on track already. It is the pace of growth that it has already surpassed Fragrance Bros. That's how fast it's growing. So it's doing absolutely great. I did a review on Squatch soap because I get ads for that constantly. And so I did a review on that, and that did really well. And then I did a follow-up video on that about Squatch soap killers. And one of them that I mentioned was Ursa Major. I really like Ursa Major a lot. They have a fantastic exfoliating, natural exfoliating type of soap. To me, it doesn't really matter if something is natural or not, as long as it's good. And in this case, it's natural and it's great. So Ursa Major is fantastic. I'm going to do one in the future about Squatch deodorants coming up, as well as Squatch deodorant killers. So I have everything pretty much lined up, except for some fiddly work. So I have more fiddly work on that. So yeah. But yeah, Ursa Major is fantastic. I have not tried their deodorant just yet, but I'm going to get some. So hopefully that'll be on the way soon. Time to Musk Up says, jalapeno peppers always clears my sinuses. Yeah, I love hot stuff. And so I actually have some really spicy ramen that I might have for lunch, and that should definitely do the trick. But yeah, I love spice. I don't have any jalapeno peppers right now, but yeah, I would definitely eat one if I had one. Lord Truth says, I'm using the Squatch. I love the natural resources they use to make the soap, but I hate the soap. Any alternatives that are healthy? Lord Truth, yes. So Lord Truth, go to my other channel called Beast Made Reviews. And on that channel, I have a video called Squatch Killers. On that one, I have several different varieties of soaps that I think, or several different companies of soaps that are great. I think are far better than Squatch. So one that I think is really great, a great alternative to Squatch, probably the easiest one to recommend, is from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. I have an affiliate link on there if you want to go check it out. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, they do natural soap as well. And to me, I think their scent is a lot better. They have a wide range of scents. You can almost anything you can think of. As someone who likes fragrances, you can find a whole bunch of different fragrances there on all their soaps. Their soap itself, all natural, and also so much better. Like on the skin, it is the best feeling soap that I've ever tried, like ever. And it's even cheaper. It's like $1 cheaper per bar. So that one is like the easiest one to recommend because it's better in every conceivable way. And I talked to the owner because I talked to him actually pretty frequently. And the owner was talking about that was one of the first things that they ever made was a soap, and they've just perfected it. It is absolute perfection. One of the things they saw whenever they saw my review of it was one thing that I always talk about is how the presentation matters. And on Squatch, I always hated how it was all like homemade looking and sharp and jagged. And some other brands, they actually pay attention and they make fragrances from molds. So PAA saw that, and they're going to make their soaps from molds in the future. So they have that coming. So they're going to even improve on that, and it'll be just the perfect soap for the price. I think it's like $7 a bar. I think it's like $6 a bar, which is still pricey per bar, but is one of the cheaper alternatives and even cheaper than Squatch. So definitely check that out. Long rabbit trail. Al Bundy says, I thought you bought all your bottles. Are you saying you get free bottles to review? Otherwise, we won't see those reviews. Yeah, Al Bundy, I've always been honest about that. I get a lot of bottles for review. So these are some that I got for this review as well. It's a very common process. Okay, to tell you how common it is incredibly common in every different reviewing niche to have companies contact you for things to review. I always am of the mind that if they send me something for review, I don't necessarily have to review it, so I don't always do it. But I'll also always give you my honest opinions on something. And I have so many different reviews that have just trashed things that have been sent to me for free, so I've proven that over and over. Some people are not as kind, and they're not as kind to their audience, I should say. They're way kinder to the company that are sending free things. I don't like that approach because even if a company is sending you something for free, I think it's more important to be honest to your audience and not fluff a review just because you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak. There have been companies that I have reviewed negatively and they don't contact me anymore. But I'm okay with that because I did the right thing. And then other times, companies, they're thankful for that. They're thankful that you gave honest opinions on it. And, there's always a way to say something. Sometimes there have been times when a company has given me things and I contact them and I say, listen, I can't review this unless you're okay with the video being a bad review because I think it's bad. And sometimes they're like, okay, I appreciate that. Maybe you shouldn't make the review. And I'm okay with that too. If they don't want the bad review, then that's fine. If they're okay with the bad review, that's fine. Al Bundy says, why do you like a gentleman brother? I'm not sure what you mean. He does sample reviews, get sample kits. Why do you do you're talking about Chad. So he gets sample kits. Yeah, that's fine too. I've done reviews from samples too, but I'm a reviewer. So I want to do as many as I can from bottles. So people can have their own opinion, but I'm going to run the channel the way I think is best. So I'm going to do as many from bottles as I can. Lord Truth says, I referred 24 men to the other channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. You smells good. Hey, Eugene, how are you doing? He says, I am Daver. Eugene, how am I doing, man? How am I doing? Hope you're doing well, Eugene. Always really thrilled that you come on. Thank you. All right. I think I got everything here. Anyone have any more questions, comments, discussions, juicy things? Lord Truth says, so I didn't get here when I started. What does Argos smell like? Okay, from the top, let's go with... No, I'm kidding. So, Lord Truth, you can go back and watch the whole review if you want, but Argos smells amazing. They have 5 in the line so far. I'm doing 3 here, which is Triumph of Bacchus, which is a sweet, syrupy, fruity, boozy, gourmand tobacco, if you will. Beautiful, beautiful. Love that. Permanent collection for me. Bacio Immortale, which is in the style of maybe Tuscan leather, that kind of thing, but I think a little bit lighter, and I think more refined and gorgeous. Love that a lot. And then we have Bravito Delicaca. Oh man, let me smell this one again. Bravito Delicaca is a vetiver scent that is bright with some dark, leathery, smoky notes that has a beautiful kind of broken in leather jacket with cigar vetiver, like one of the best. It's gorgeous. So that's essentially the line. Again, definitely go and check out the line. I have a link down below. You can go and find samples of their line for a pretty good rate. I don't get anything from those. Those are not affiliate links or anything. But yeah, beautiful line. Dang it. All right, not sure why, but my connection went down again really quick, so glad to be back up. Almost done anyway. Let's see. Lord Truth, hygiene is a big part of my success. I've been blessed with good looks, so the smell makes it so much better. And modesty. Eric Insman says, last comment about Xerjoff. I blind bought Accento and Renaissance last night for the spring-summer season at a good deal. Any thoughts on those? I love and own 40 knots, so I took the plunge. So 40 knots is incredible. I love 40 knots. I haven't tried Accento, so there's a few from Xerjoff I have not tried yet, so I have no opinion about Accento yet. Renaissance is amazing. Great, great, great scent. And I used to have it. It used to be called 1861, and I really liked it a lot. I had it, but I didn't wear it as much, and now I miss it. It's one of those fragrances that I really miss. It's a beautiful kind of fat, minty, citrus type of scent with a lot of depth and woody character as well. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous scent that is really rich smelling. I like that one a lot. It's one of my favorites from Xerjoff. Excellent. Time to Musk Up says, have you tried black tie? I have something in this right here. A little sample of black tie. So I'm going to get to that pretty soon. I did not have good expectations about that, just in case you're wondering. Lord Truth says, I'm going to buy a bottle of Argos now, thanks. Oh, well. Well, thank you for doing that. I think you'll love it. All 3 of them are fantastic, so I really like it. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining.